Welcome to the video. My name is Majora. I am the Silver Dragon Gamer. Welcome back to part 2 for the Majora's Mask run. As I said in part 1, I'm breaking this video up into multiple segments because I felt it was just too long and I want to really keep these videos on the shorter end so people can watch them like maybe on a break or something like that and still have time to go on about their day. So, without any further ado, let's get into part 2. After picking up the heart piece from the Dodongos, we're going to head back into town to grab Kaifi's mask from the mayor's wife, who's located in East Clocktown. Go into this door on the north and we're going to take the rightmost door, go inside and talk to her. She's going to tell us that her son is missing and then give us this mask and ask if we can wear it to talk to people to help her find where he is at. And once we have the mask, we're going to head back into town because there's another heart piece that we need to collect. For this, we're going to head back into the east part of Clocktown, talk to the bombers, give them the code again, get access to their headquarters once more, which we're going to do about 1 billion times in these games. We're going to swim down and pop the balloon and head back into the observatory because unlike last time when we looked at the top of the clock tower and saw the Skull Kid, this time we're going to look around until we see a flying Deku. This is the same Deku that we bought the flower from in town and traded him the Moon's Tear. We're going to follow him with the telescope, look for him around here so we don't lose him too much, because he's going to fly into a particular hole out here and we need to know which one it's going to be. Since I can see him here and watch him go down in there, I know that I can leave the observatory and go back into town and back out into Terminia Field, and I can now access that area and talk to the Deku. Out in Terminia Field, we're going to go up here by the observatory and fall into that hole that we were using earlier to reset the bushes. Now we're going to talk to the Deku. He's going to get really nervous because this is where he stores his merchandise. He's going to offer us 150 for a heart piece. We're going to say no, and he'll come down to 100, in which case we'll buy it from him, and then he'll run away again. Because even though we've traded with him multiple times, he still doesn't really trust us. So now from here, we're going to go to the bank, deposit what little bit of money we have on us, and do a jump to day 3 with the accelerated Song of Time. And for those who might not know what that is, it's just a double play of each of the 3 notes for the Song of Time. From here, we're going to head off to Romani Ranch. We've got to be careful of this stupid vulture up here because he will knock items right out of you, including things like bags and things like that. He's a big pain in the butt. You can fight him off, but really he's not really worth it. Now we're going to head into the ranch itself. Tattle is going to realize, hey, that's our horse Epona over there, so we're going to get a cutscene to run to it. But really where we want to go is to the chicken coop in the back here, because we want to get the bunny hood. To get the bunny hood, we have to talk to Grog under the tree here. He'll get added to our notebook, and then we have to put the Bremen mask on and use its special march command. The march command allows us to march in line, and when we get close to one of the peeps, they'll fall in line behind us. And then eventually, once we get all of them, they'll each begin to grow up to become big roosters, which is what Grog wants to see before the moon falls on him. Personally, I think this is a very cute and endearing side quest to do because all this guy wants to do is see his pets grow up, and anybody who likes animals understands that feeling completely. And it's just a nice cherry on top that you get a really awesome item like the bunny mask. The bunny mask has to be my favorite mask in Majora's Mask because it accelerates you and just gets you around the map faster, which is one of the reasons I tend to play this game a lot in the Deku Shrub form because I like just moving through the map quicker. Now, as you can see, his roosters are growing up. I've collected all 10, so I'm going to go back, show off the roosters to Grog. He's going to get all excited and give us our bunny hood so that we can move on to our next area. Once the bunny hood is handed over, Grog is going to go on and say how happy he is, and then we'll get a nice little mark in our bomber's notebook so that we can head out and get yet another heart piece. This time we're going next door to the dog track. Once we head out of the chicken coop, we're going to immediately turn right, head over here, go in this door, and talk to the ladies standing by this corral full of dogs. This can be one of the most frustrating pieces of hearts to get because it's kind of luck of the draw unless you have the Mask of Truth, but you can't get that until way later in the game. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in, pick any dog out of the corral, go over, talk to her, bet as much or as little as you want in increments of 10, but to get the heart piece you have to bet at least 50 rupees. And your dog has to come in first place. Now, as we can see here, our dog is going to cross the finish line first, so as soon as he does, we'll get a little cutscene from the lady. She's going to give us 150 rupees, and we get our next heart piece. From there, we're going to go back to town and deposit the 200 rupees that we're carrying, because we do have a goal of 5,000, which is a long, long way off. And then we're going to reverse time back to day 1. Once we've jumped back, we're going to begin our usual first day loop of grabbing some bombs, the hidden silver rupee, the moon tier, and the city land title. So we're going to go back to Terminia Field as the Deku scrub, hit some grass until we get a bomb, open up the chest in the bomber's headquarters so that we can get our hidden silver rupee, and then grab the moon tier from the observatory, trade it in for the land title. Once we have the city land title, it's time to go get a heart piece from the mailman. So our Deku friend will fly off. We're going to go up here to the post office, and after 3 o'clock, we're going to go inside because we know the mailman's going to be back from his run. He's going to want us to play a little mini game with him where we have to stop a timer at exactly 10 seconds. Now normally this would be a semi-difficult thing to do because you can't see the timer to try and get it right, but because we're wearing the bunny hood, we can see the timer, and it's very easy to stop it at exactly 10 seconds and get our heart piece for beating this mini game. The mailman's going to be very happy with us now, so we can head back outside because we have more mini games to play. We have to go back into North Clocktown, put on the Deku mask, and using this flower, jump into this little hole over here, which will give us access to the Deku minigame. This particular minigame can be played on all 3 days, but each day is a different game. Well, I guess technically they're all still the same game, it's just that these platforms move differently, so we have a different field each time. Here on day 1, we just have to contend with platforms moving straight up and down, so that we can try to time our jumps in between them and jump from the highest point of each platform's launch and move on to the next one. You only have a minute and 15 seconds to complete each one of these levels, and if you happen to touch the floor, you immediately lose the level as well. So as we land here, we'll grab our last rupee, which completes day 1 of the Deku challenge. Our reward for completing this is a purple rupee, which is worth 50. Once we get our reward, we're going to head back out and deposit it because we have acquired 200 rupees over the course of the day. Now we're going to go earn our Majora's Mask. We get this by leaving the north end of Clocktown, and we want to go to this giant stone mushroom here, and we want to play the Song of Healing that we learned from the mask vendor. This triggers Kamaru to begin teaching Link a new set of dance moves. And while Link is learning those new dance moves, if you could please like, comment, share, and subscribe for the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. It would help me grow this channel to even greater heights. Thank you so much. Once Link finishes learning his dance moves, he's going to earn Kamaru's mask from him, and Kamaru the spirit dancer will disappear. So we're going to head back into the city because we have 2 more heart pieces to grab. The first piece is from these 2 dancing sisters that appear in West Clocktown only at night. During the day, you can find them in the Stockpot Inn. But tonight, we're going to put on Kamaru's mask and we're going to teach these sisters some new dance moves, which is what they're looking for. And because we teach them these new dance moves that Kamaru taught us on the top of that stone mushroom out in Terminia Field, they're going to get really happy and give us another heart piece. Once we get this heart piece, we need to head back over to East Clocktown because we need to enter the top part of Stockpot Inn. As the Deku shrub, we can enter into that flower and jump up here and go inside anytime we want, but this time we want to go in at night because we want to come around here to what's essentially the toilet, where we start a conversation with this creepy hand sticking out of the toilet. He's going to ask us for some paper. Conveniently, we happen to have some on hand in the form of the city land title. Doing this does break the trade chain though, but it does earn us another heart piece. And once we get that, we can move on to day 2 because we have to go play the Deku minigame once more. The game is exactly the same as before, except this time the platforms are no longer moving up and down, they're going to be moving in a circle around each other. This particular variant of the game can be very frustrating because there are no tricks or anything, you just simply have to learn the timing. And it is something that you may have to practice over and over again. I can't say I'm a big fan of this particular mini game or any of these Deku games. I think they're just repetitive and kind of tedious, but they are what they are and they're in the game, so if you want to have all of the heart pieces, you have to do them. Now, once you manage to pick up all 6 of the rupees from the mini game, they will reward you with another purple rupee. After that, we're going back outside and jump to day 3 so we can do the Deku mini game one final time. We go back outside, play our accelerated Song of Time, and suddenly it's the dawn of day 3. So we jump back into the hole, talk to the Dekus, and they'll send us once more to go out into their little game and collect 6 rupees. This time, however, some of the platforms are moving up and down, and some of the platforms are moving in circles. Personally, I don't find this to be as bad as day 2 because the up and down rupees tend to be easier to get than the ones that are actually moving in circles. So we're going to jump from platform to platform and float along as our little Deku Shrub self, hoping that we don't fall off and have to start this minigame all over again for about the billionth time. As we dive into the flower here, we're going to wait for our last rupee to come around the corner on the backside there, fly over, and grab it up. The Dekus get excited that we beat their minigame for 3 days straight, so they're going to reward us with a heart piece. After that, we reset time back to day 1, grab the moon tier, the city title, and the hidden silver rupee in the bomber's headquarters. Finish that up, we're going to head back and deposit it all into the bank, and then we're going to head south into the swamp area to pick up Deku Nuts, Deku Sticks, and yet another heart piece. As we head into the swamp area, I'm going to realize that I forgot to bring money with me for some other item that's down here, so I'm going to spend a minute or two farming up some rupees. I'm going to supplement these grass rupees by coming down here into this hole and opening up this treasure chest down here, which has a 20 pack of rupees in it. It's also going to allow me to collect Deku Sticks and Deku Nuts from the various Deku Babas that happen to be down here. The shorter Deku Baba will give me Deku Nut per kill, and the taller ones will each give me a Deku Stick per kill. So we're going to come back outside, farm up some more grass rupees until we have about 40, and then we're going to grab this particular heart piece that happens to be at the top of this dead-looking tree. Unfortunately, there also happens to be various Keese and Blob monsters that are sitting around trying to kill us. Fortunately, one of the Blob monsters happens to be a heart dropper, and one of them happens to be a magic dropper. So, once we've killed everything off, we climb to the top, grab our heart piece, and move on to buy the Snowhead map from Tingle, who's floating over here in this corner. Now, when he drops down, he's going to offer to sell us maps. We already own the first map that he's selling us, so we don't need to buy the Woodfall one. We just need to buy the one for Snowhead. Now, Snowhead is the area to the north of Clocktown. And that's it for this particular part of the video. Part 3 will be coming on Monday, so watch for that. And please remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video. Thank you again.